What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What kind of ignorant shit is that?
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
You idiot, you fool!
Hey, dummy!
This is the Ignorance is Blessed podcast.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Bitch. Listen, we're back. I wasn't calling Ariana a bitch. I was calling
wish you were.
I was calling Siri a bitch because she was explaining how timers work. And I don't even need these headphones. Mm-hmm. Hi. Hello, idiots. We have returned. I have a return guest.
Ooh.
But we're gonna have more fun this time. I loved our conversation last time. It was specific. It was pointed. It was intentional to talk about a very heavy subject. You guys might remember. If not, go search it. Unless you are trying to freebase joy, and then maybe get to it later. But I feel like
freebase joy is so crazy.
Woo! Just huffing Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Anyway, Arijana Ramic is here.
Whoa, hi. Hi, ex-roommate, enemy.
I miss you.
I miss you so much.
Oh.
It's nice to be here and with my favorite gal, Moki, and then you.
And I'm just a lady.
You're just here. You're a lady.
I'm always here.
Yeah.
I'm glued to this chair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
I feel like I loved our conversation last time. It was so deep and emotional, but you're so funny, and I feel like people didn't get to know that.
Yeah, I feel like last time we literally just sobbed, and
like,
I was like, I can't even look at this episode. Like, I was like, oh, we fully just like had. You know what we did? I think because we're roommates, we literally were just like talking. Like, we will have conversations in the living room, but there was a camera there, totally unaware.
Oh yeah, we completely forgot, which probably honestly makes for great content.
Sure,
you want to forget the cameras there.
Yeah. But so much
it was so heavy.
Being roommates was like, okay, I'm gonna cry about this thing, and then you cry about
we're just trauma dumping. That is what female roommates, for people who live under the illusion that it's like they probably paint each other's nails and have pillow fights.
I mean, that did happen like 3 times.
All the time. But other than that, you rewatched your favorite movies from your childhood and you trauma bond.
Oh my God. I really missed you during Christmas this year because I didn't watch like any of the movies. I didn't do hot cocoa night like we did and decorate the tree.
No hot cocoa night.
I know. I didn't do like anything fun.
You were in the thick of it.
Yeah, I was in the thick of it.
Well, it's hard to live on your own and
not be Christian.
I guess that actually plays a lot into it. That turns out I was thrusting traditions upon you.
I love Christmas. I feel like Christians really won with the holidays.
I mean, Christmas is fun.
Christmas is fun. Like, it's the fun holiday. The decorations are fun. Like,
it's a vibe. I hate being someone going, it's a vibe, but like
it is though. It is.
It like gets in your bones.
Yeah, and it's just the spirit of it all.
Yeah, but it's also easier to do things or like be motivated to go do like, let's do a cute Christmas thing.
Yeah,
with another person.
Yeah, I'm like, no, like if we live in the same house, it's easy, right? But like, what I'm gonna get a little. I live alone.
Yeah,
and have a white couch. I'm not doing.
Yeah, you're like, what am I gonna get a giant tree and there's pine needles going everywhere? Honestly, I don't think I would have bought a tree if I had just stayed living alone.
I know. Yeah, I really get that.
I was like, this will be fun for us, but then like if I lived alone. That's sad.
Yeah,
my tree.
Decorating a tree is an activity, and imagine doing that alone.
Yeah, you'd have to like, you'd have to really love decorating trees. It would have to be.
It'd be like your thing.
Yeah, because otherwise, and at that point, you just have a year-round tree. You just change the decorations on.
Which I kind of like that idea, but
I mean, I'll stand by. It's a good move for white trash families who don't like to take their tree down, and it's a big fake tree. Fucking turn it into a Valentine's Day
It's
tree.
like when people get the giant skeleton and they just put a different hat on it. You know what I mean? It's what are we doing?
Well, because it's also, I think those giant skeletons, I've seen a few of them. I saw a bunch in Florida that had Christmas hats on.
Yeah.
And what I think is people don't really think of the aftermath of owning a giant where do
skeleton.
You put it?
Yeah. We literally have skeletons in the closet. Like, it's like, you can't do that. You can't do that.
It's
Not
you're
a good
just
look.
Gonna have a tub of bones that
Yeah.
you keep in your garage.
Tub of Bones is the name of my podcast.
Yeah, honestly,
Tub of Bones.
That's such a great podcast
That's such
name.
a great podcast name.
Or
Just
such
Tub
a
of Bones.
hurtful name for a chubby child.
And it's
Get
either
over here, you
like-
tub of bones.
It's either a body positivity podcast or a true crime show.
I mean, and we'll never really
Never know. And sometimes it's both. Yeah.
Honestly,
Tub of Bones.
that's
It. I love the word tub.
me too.
Say that 3 times.
Tub. I was just telling a story to Nate about my middle school friend Robert, who was just this like loner punk rock, heavy set guy who like
Okay.
chain smoked, but was like one of the funniest people I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about how he never played sports because when he was a kid he played soccer,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like under 8 soccer, so it's like 6 and 7-year-olds, and he's there. It's halftime, and they're getting all amped up, and he's about to go in, and the coach goes, "Get out there and get him, you big tub of goo," and he's like,
Oh my God. Tub of goo?
"Yeah," and I'm like, "That was some parent volunteering.
Okay.
There's no stakes. Why are you
So,
ruining this
Can
child's?"
we talk about this? I just saw the Goonies for the first time yesterday. Okay. First of all, loved
I'm
it.
sorry I couldn't come, by the way.
No, it's fine.
I wanted to
I
come.
didn't realize that it was the biggest day in sports. Every Sunday feels like the biggest day in people's sports lives. I'm over it.
It's almost over.
Yeah.
Football's
Basically,
almost over.
what the viewers should know is that I invited about 10 friends to come watch a movie.
Did
with
anyone
me.
come?
No, I went alone.
Oh,
And it was
no.
good though, because I had such a weird day the day before that I was like, I don't think I can socially interact with people, so
Like,
I
I just
went
need
alone.
to sit and watch Goonies.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanna
literally.
Go to a movie though.
Yeah, we'll go. Well, I'm an
Okay.
AMC A-lister now. So I'm really
Forgot I
go,
was, and then I wasn't using it
Yeah.
enough. And
I
then
go
I
as much as I can.
Then I go like, I
Mhm.
should. It's good to like, movies are good.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman gets it.
Oh, I love that little lady. I love her.
Ugh.
Every time the AMC thing comes on, I'm like, I clap. I'm one of the people that claps.
Oh my god. you
Yeah,
fucking-
I'm sorry.
I can't go to the
know.
movies with you.
I know.
We go to the movies.
Yeah, but it's the cinema. The cinema.
We're escaping our
seen-
pathetic lives.
A lot of good movies lately, but so Goonies, they have the character Chunk, and they make him do the truffle shuffle, which like I had always like heard of, but I was like, that's insane that they put something that would be like an inside joke to someone about like fat shaming this kid. Like, don't make him do that.
It was the 80s, baby.
Yeah, the 80s were crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was watching the movie Death Proof. Have you heard of this movie? It's a
No.
Quentin Tarantino movie.
No. But I love him. Are you listening, Quentin? I
yeah.
have great feet.
Yes,
Put
he
me in a
will be
movie.
really into that.
I miss him every time he comes
Lots
into
of
the
feet
store.
in this movie. Lots of feet.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I
Mhm.
want to hear what you're saying.
Yes.
But before I forget, because you are a dork at the store.
Yeah.
If he ever shows up again,
Oh, I'm
text me
texting you
immediately so I can
immediately.
come by in flip flops.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Platform flip flops.
Oh my god,
he would
Quentin?
go crazy. Yeah. Clip clop, clip clop.
I don't know how to walk.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. You fall over.
Whoops, Mr. I cartwheel
You
with my
fall
feet into his
first.
face.
Yeah. One of my friends slept with him.
Did they have any weird
Gossip.
stories? I guess we shouldn't.
No, they just confirmed that he is
Very into feet.
Yeah. But I don't think he hides it, which I respect.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to walk around going,
Mhm.
just so everyone knows, I want
Yeah.
to fuck ears.
Yeah, exactly. Me personally, feet, I don't even want to look at my own feet. Okay, I'm not into that. But there's a lot of feet in this movie. And I was just kept laughing every time a foot showed up on screen. Like it was like framed up, like lingering
yeah.
on the feet. Like
Sometimes I'm like, is he like, is part of it like he's in on the joke now that we're
I think
feet?
so.
They know I like feet.
Yeah.
Or is he just?
I think he's in. I think he's a funny. He's in on the joke. Like I think he's very honest.
Wait,
I
is this a
think-
new movie?
No. So okay, it came out in 2007.
Oh.
And I truthfully have not seen. I've only seen one other Quentin Tarantino movie. Weirdly,
Was
and
it-
It was Django Unchained.
Oh.
Yeah,
The most racist one.
yeah,
Good,
and I
good,
love
good.
that. But
We
no, and it
love
was
that
mainly
here.
because I love Jamie Foxx. I'm in love with that man.
He's so great.
Yeah, if
He's
he ever
incredible.
gets canceled,
going-
delete this. But I
no,
will,
I'm making a clip.
Yeah, I'm in love with that man. He has my exact career trajectory that I want.
That's right, because you play the piano.
Right, I want to play the piano, feature on a Kanye song, and just then decide, no, acting's for me.
the dream. He does it all.
No, he literally, I think he's a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
In any case, in the movie, one thing that really I've been thinking about a lot is like I've been watching a lot of old movies, and every time they're like, oh, this girl's butt is so big. Like, you know, guys don't like big butts. And it's like, this is 2007. This isn't like that long ago. But every time I watch an old movie now and they like shame a woman for having a fat ass, I'm like, what a crazy time we live in. And these are not women with fat asses.
No, by the way, it's the
most average looking woman you've ever seen in your life.
And a pretty normal ass.
Yeah, pretty normal ass.
The fact that she has an ass and isn't like rail thin is like, whoa, look at this big mama.
Also, the girl in the film was rail thin and had barely an ass. But like, I was just like, this is so crazy to watch. Like how I think we're swinging back towards that with the Ozempic.
Oh, with the
stuff,
Ozempic,
but,
for sure.
You had
your
fun
story. You had your fun ass, ladies.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here with your curves.
Everyone's getting rid of their BBLs.
I'm like, this is my time.
Yeah, this is your time.
I've been waiting for this. Oh, my stomach. But my stomach's too fat now? Okay, great.
Yeah, you have to have fat in all the right places.
Which is none.
Yeah.
It's hell on earth.
That's good.
Cheers. Well, listen, every day is a gift with me trying to figure out how audio works. Yeah, it is crazy watching that now when like we've gone through such a like the ass is all there is. Where it's like if you don't have an ass.
I think titties are coming back.
Did titties ever go away, or did ass just get like a
I
good
think they
PR?
got overshadowed. Yeah, the ass got good PR for a while.
Because was anyone ever like, ew, look at her fat tits?
But I feel like no, but I feel like women idolized like a bohemian kind of like free people look where it was like flat chested, like hippie little lady kind of thing.
Oh yeah, just that like that's.
I guess tits never went away though, because like that would be the look would be in, but for men they were still like, yeah, we want Scarlett Johansson and Christina, what's her name, the redhead. Do you know who I'm
Christina the redhead?
She was like on Mad Men. Do you know?
I don't know who. I only know John Hamm. All I can think about is Big Hog.
Yeah. Oh,
hog
big
tits.
Hog.
Yeah,
confirmed.
Yeah. I sat next to him at the ESPYs. And I just stared.
Was he
right
nice?
at his
I heard
dong.
he's really nice.
He's so nice, and he was with his brand new girlfriend then, and I was like,
yeah, which I don't respect because I like part of the reason I like John Hamm is because he was with the same woman for like 30 years.
I know,
and they were the same age. And then men do this thing where they decide they only want to date younger women.
Yeah, they're like, I'm famous, I can have whatever I want. But
and I'm quickly aging out of that.
I loved it when I was in that bracket, and now that I'm not, I fucking hate it. That's why every woman, as they get older, we just get more and more feminist. But the other thing is, here's where I become a huge piece of shit. When I see a man do that, like if you're gonna leave your wife to date somebody younger, and I mean this respectfully because the woman he was with was objectively in better shape than me. She was a nice looking woman.
Oh, she was beautiful.
She was fine.
I thought she was really pretty.
I think that she was.
If I look like her at that age, I will be grateful to the gods.
The new.
No,
I don't mean his.
I don't know who his new girlfriend is. His also they were never married.
Oh.
30 years never married.
Here's my thing is like if you're gonna if I'm with someone for that long and you're gonna leave me for a younger woman, at least leave me for an also hot younger woman.
She has to be the hottest woman that I've ever seen in my
Nothing
life.
Is more upsetting to me than finding like hearing he left her for some 28-year-old, and then you meet the 28-year-old and you're like, yeah, but she looks 40.
You can tell we're so jaded because we've seen male comics date the hottest women,
which is so fucked up. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Every female comedian I know that I'm friends with, it's so difficult to for them to find someone to be with that deserves to be with them that is even remotely on their level intellectually without even talking about looks.
Oh yeah.
And then male comics who are by and large pieces of shit, and I say that being friends with so many of them, that it's like they're probably gonna cheat. Or even if they're not cheating, they're gonna be avoidant and unavailable and not a good partner, or they're
and write a
you.
joke about your pussy on stage. Yeah.
And
are we allowed to? It's an explicit episode.
Yeah, no, but they all are, and I never mark them explicit. And something's gonna happen to me someday. But and it'll just be a hot, usually really nice.
Yeah,
she's nice.
Yeah,
not always interesting, but nice.
Yeah,
and we're getting men who are like, I heard you mention your butt.
Yeah,
up there. I mean, you're not as filthy as I am. I will get
No, but it's like I feel like there's something about like a woman audience member seeing like a male comic and kind of being like, oh, he's such like a quirky, like goofy guy.
he's
Like
friendly.
like
He's the
we
life
like
of the
personality.
party.
Yeah, like there's something enamoring about that. And like, you know, for like male comics, it's so easy to get laid, and a lot of this is about their ego. Like
They're checking a box of like they were dorky when they were a kid.
right, and now this is the thing that, like, a lot of male comics get into comedy to be cool, which is like the biggest red flag to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, comedy is not cool. You're supposed to be a little bit on the fringes.
Yeah,
like,
you're
you're
a jester.
you're critiquing the culture. That's what you need to be doing.
Yeah, it's and that's enough of that. Leave male comics alone.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's so true.
Women on stage, it's like people find out you're funny and they're less attracted to
They're
you.
terrified.
They're terrified.
Well,
of
and
it.
you know what? So much of it is that men
Mhm.
think, and the worst is when it's someone who's not even funny, but they're like, that's a thing I can bring to the table.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
want to be funnier than you.
Yeah, and it's an insecure thing for someone
Mhm.
to think, well, if they have that, then they won't be impressed by me having it.
Yeah.
Or it's like, and I think it's the same with
Mhm.
women succeeding with money. Is
Mhm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if what you bring to the table, by the way, as a man, is money,
Mm-hmm.
yikes.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's
mean,
it.
congrats.
I mean,
but
give it to me. But
it's like if that's gonna be the one thing you bring, have it be that. Do
you
know
better
what I
bring a
mean?
whole lot of
Yeah,
it.
like let's just be clear.
Yeah, but it is like it's
Yeah.
that men need to be funnier.
Yeah, sure.
They need to feel like they're funnier, and I think a lot of them need to
Well,
feel like they're smarter.
It's also, I think, partly. I mean, if I'm gonna give, I think part of it is like not women's fault, but society's culture imparting this. But like, I remember listening to this interview talking about how most media is made for a straight white man,
Yeah.
and so women have an easier time watching stand up and relating to more stand up because, like, if all the media I've ever consumed was never made for me,
Yeah.
I've learned to be more empathetic to like this person's joke or this person's story or something.
Yeah, because it's what we've been force fed.
Right. But if you're a man and all media has been made for you, and then all of a sudden you see a woman go up and talk about her body,
yeah.
you're like, oh, this is crazy.
This isn't real. This is nuts.
This is, why would you talk about, like, do jokes for everyone, you know? And it's like, yeah, I'm allowed, I can do that and still be funny. And you can laugh at the joke that I'm making about my own body.
My own experience.
You know? Yeah. And they just can't relate to the female experience. So when men watch stand-up shows, it's different for them. Like,
Yeah.
they don't relate as quickly as a woman would to somebody who's like, maybe she doesn't relate to that story, but she can empathize with the place that story is coming from.
Absolutely. And if the woman or women they've been with have never
Yeah.
talked about their own experience, it's so foreign to them.
So basically what I'm saying is, women, stop hitting on male comics. You heard it here first.
Yeah, they're disgusting. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We're back and still hate male comics. Just kidding. I don't hate ya. I love ya.
No, I do. No.
It is a weird world we're in where it's like,
Yeah.
there are people who I love and I like look at them as like shitty little brothers almost.
Yeah. We're around a lot of degenerates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also why it shocks me when people really try to aggressively go after a comedian for being a piece of shit. Obviously there are extreme limit with like I'm not talking about people being criminals.
Yeah.
Pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
But like for the things they say, it's like, what did you expect?
Yeah, I feel like I've swung the other way where I'm like so quick.
I remember being in my early 30s and thinking I would make a difference.
Well, no, not even that. I'm just like, I just don't like rate you. Like, I don't need to hang out with you. Like, if I hear even one kind of thing that makes me feel a little bit queasy about you and you're a male comic, I'm like, oh,
I have nothing to do
I
with
have
you.
nothing to do with you. I don't,
my
there
God.
are so many male comics. You think I have to hang out with you?
Oh, yeah, the having to go out of your way to hang out.
Yeah.
And listen, I wish I was like you. I'm a fucking pussy. I go, yeah, hey, man, how you been?
But
And
like,
I'm
I'll say hi. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, and then walk away.
Hey.
But my whole thing is like, the thing is, if it was a woman, it's not a double standard. But if I heard that a woman did something kind of shitty and they were my friend, I'd be like, hey, maybe don't do that. You know, like, I want to help you improve. Now, when it's a male comment, I'm like, I'm not helping you.
Yeah. Well, I also think that's a huge problem in in maybe, I don't know if it's just our industry or if it's social, like society at large, but how many people actually do that? Go like, hey, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like,
ooh. I mean, I get nervous too. Even like with sometimes my friends will say stuff and I'm just like, I don't like. It takes a lot to tell your friend that you're like, hey, that's not like,
hey, that's not a great
way to handle that situation.
Well, and comedians are so crazy that like,
it's
such an odd dance of like I've had friends that I like try to go like, I think maybe like you're actually. It's like, how do you go? It's you're being the problem
because
here.
it's socially tricky because I'm not anyone's therapist, nobody's counselor. I try to mind my own business.
Yeah.
But like, I think that especially in LA, comedy is such a socially weird place to navigate.
Yeah. And people want to like help their friends, and also people are crazy and will write you off for a minor thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I burned a bridge because I said, hey, maybe that's not the way to do that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go, what do I know? But it kind of seems like maybe you're misreading it. And then they go, I'll never work with you again.
Yeah.
You'll never work in this town. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I just if anyone's like, my whole thing is like, if you're like funny and you don't even have to be overtly nice.
No, just don't be a piece of
shit.
As
long as you don't do something that's really shitty. If I hear even one shitty thing about a dude, I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I don't need to go out of my way to be friends with them. I've had the opposite thing where I've been friendly with someone and then slowly start hearing stories about them, and I'm like, I'm gonna slightly
that's harder.
That's more of that's 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, well, that's what I think I've become overall less social because I'm like, I can't afford the awkwardness of being like,
dude, I'll be like friendly with someone and be like, oh yeah, I love that guy, because I'm just like naturally warm, which bites me in the ass a lot.
Yeah.
Because then when I'm even just neutral on someone, people think I hate them.
Yeah. No, that's me too. It's like if I just don't have the energy, people are like, you're a bitch.
Dude, when I'm tired, you hate to see me coming. I'm literally like, people will. And then I hate when people are like, what's wrong? I'm like, I got 2 hours of sleep. What do you want from me?
I'm just not.
Yeah, I just don't want to talk.
That's the fundamental problem of being like normally a nice person is because I think I've become less friendly over the years. And maybe that's just aging. But I have always been like a naturally friendly. And I'm sure you get the same thing.
It's bitten me in the ass quite a few times.
Because now people are like, well, what did I do to her? And you're like,
And I'm like,
nothing.
literally nothing. I don't think about you. I'm literally just trying to.
I mean, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely magnified in comedy. Everyone, we're not everyone, but we, especially in LA, I think it's the like mecca for narcissism.
Oh yes.
I know that based on
think just comedy generally, it's a mecca for any entertainment thing. But like,
everyone's thinks everything is about them, and it's like
I've been going through this. I feel like with a lot of my friends, where I'm just like, I think I've had a low. Why are we talking about this? I've had a really low bar of patience lately.
Good.
In terms of like, I've had like really horrible things happening in my life. I mean,
it's been a rough couple months.
It's been like probably the worst year of my life. So far, one of the worst. And
hey, there's still time for it to get worse.
It could get worse. No, I'm literally saying I'm grateful. Like, I'm grateful for my life because I know it could be so much worse. But it's just been a hard year. Like, it's been one of the hardest years of my life. And then I'll have people complain to me, or like friends call me about like really mundane shit that seems really big in their world. But I'm like, oh, this like doesn't matter. Yeah. And I feel like I'm losing empathy for people because I'm like, why are you calling me with this thing that literally doesn't.
It's so
like,
small.
I'm lost that part of me that, because you know me. You know me. Like, I'm just like, I'm the friend you call where it's like, I just need someone to vent to.
And you'll be there. You're coming over. There. You got flowers.
Yeah, I'm bringing cake.
A cake? Yeah. Like, no one. Yeah. Like, I learned more about being a good friend in my mid-30s living with you, and I was like, oh, you are considerate in a way that, this is maybe one of the dumbest sentences I've ever said, I never even considered.
Like, hey, listen, that's all changed now. I'm a bitch now. So,
yeah, where it's like, you know what though? When I was younger, I used to be a little bit. I definitely was never on your level. But I was better about thinking of. No, you're thoughtful.
No, I'm truly like, I will ruin my life trying to be nice to someone. Like
I used to send
I don't love it. I
cards.
resent it about myself. I resent it. Yeah, truly.
Do you find yourself getting like angry because it's never going to be reciprocated, but you can't stop yourself from doing it?
I've kind of given up on that a lot. What I get angrier about, yes, that used to make me mad, but what I get angrier about now is that I can't ever stop myself before doing the thing where I'm like, okay, you got to stop doing this for people, or you got to back off,
Like,
don't
not
do that.
help.
Like I turn into a mom immediately. Like
You have
that's
a
just
mom
where
vibe.
I have a mom vibe. I think I'm a natural caregiver, and then later I regret it because I overpromise, and then I'm literally
you feel
like,
obligated.
I have weeks where I look at my schedule and I'm like, oh, I haven't gone to a single mic or done a single show because I felt like I had to do all these other things for other people, and then I get mad at myself because I know it's me.
It's not my
doing
own
that.
boundaries.
You know, it's like I'm more angry with myself than anything.
Can I tell you something that has worked like this much for me
Mhm.
and still barely
Mhm.
because
I love that.
you know my time management,
Yeah.
but it might work better for you. I don't know. I made a, especially like, because this is what I do for a living,
Mhm.
not this. Subscribe.
Yeah,
I would love to do
please
this for a living.
hit the like button.
Please
Yeah.
share it with somebody for the love of fucking Christ. But stand up. And so I'm like at
Mhm.
home writing during the day when I'm not on the road, or writing, just fucking staring and being like, I should be doing something.
Yeah.
I designated a day
Mhm.
where of the week where I go, this is when I schedule this not Wednesday, but
yeah.
Wednesday is coffees
Yes.
and meetings
Yeah.
and now I go, if someone wants to hang out, I'd love to.
Mhm.
Can you do Wednesday?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll make exceptions if they're like, Wednesday will never work for me.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
someone I
yeah.
really want to get together with. But I'll go,
Mhm.
I can't do this week. I could do next week.
Yeah.
Just because I'll do the same thing. I'll
I-
load myself up
yeah.
doing other people's, spending time
Mhm.
with them, doing their projects. And then I'm not writing enough. Then I'm not recording enough of my
Yeah.
own podcasts.
I was really good about something similar, like approach for a while, and then I just kind of went off the rails. So I
Yeah.
think I need to get back to that. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
It also comes in waves because then
yeah.
I know I'll hit a point where I go, I got to
Mhm.
socialize more.
Well, yeah.
For my
I'll
sanity.
I'll either hermit or I'm out way too much.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, what? We gotta have some moderation.
Yeah, it's like, has anybody
You know what I mean?
ever been balanced?
Yeah,
though?
yeah, no,
Like,
never,
It's
never.
a scam.
No, it's okay. It is a total scam. There is no balance in life. I cried looking at my to-do list last night. I was like, I'm never gonna get this done. There's
Yeah.
just no way. I've had something on there for 8 months.
Have you even started it?
No, are you serious?
I mean, that's that's worth examining.
No, it's literally no, it is. I didn't complete any of my goals last year. I was
It was
really
a hard
it was a
year.
hard year. Yeah, but
And you have big goals.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the
too
things
many.
that a self-care Instagram would already tell
Yeah,
you.
I know, but it's like sometimes you need to hear it from your friends.
Yeah.
I'm very critical. Okay, the one thing I do like about myself is that I am way more critical of myself than I would be of any other person.
Of anyone else.
Do
Which
you know
people,
what I mean?
Yes. And
And,
people go,
yeah.
would you talk to someone else like that?
Yeah.
And you're like,
And
no, but I would
sometimes
think
do
about
have
it.
to tell myself that. But then I'm like, sometimes I'm like, the only reason I've ever done anything is because I'm so critical of myself.
Yes.
Like, I'm like literally insane.
Yeah, that I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Someone who just completely accepts themselves the
Yeah.
way they are, that's disgusting.
Get out of here. Get out of
Oh,
here.
you just, and now I just love, it's like, you can love
Yeah.
yourself, sure.
Yeah.
As I spit and there's bubbles coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah, we're
can
foaming.
love
We're
yourself.
foaming at the mouth.
That's
talking
how
about-
angry I
talking
am.
about goal setting.
Literally, I'm like, yeah, because I fucking keep
That's how I knew we were going to be good friends.
When you came in and saw my
yeah.
psychotic calendar.
Yeah, literally. The first day I moved in and I saw your whiteboards, I was like, yeah, we're gonna get along. Yeah.
And the fact that I, by the way, had 3 desks, I never sit at them.
never used by the way, never used the standing desk once.
No.
Not once.
It was a shelf.
It was just a tall shelf.
Yeah, it was too tall for me
It
to own.
It was crazy. It was like a side table. You used it as a side table, but it was your height.
And I had a small bed, so now it's like the bed's on the ground.
Yeah, and then this
my water, and it's just.
like literally insane.
But it's because I'm so
Yeah.
ADD. I was like, I need to sit
Yeah.
where I can, which is also so psychotic to
Yeah.
sit and stare at your goals, because I get there is something about like a vision board. It's
Mm-hmm.
like constantly reminding yourself, but again, there
Yeah.
being no balance. It's also reminding yourself of what you haven't fucking done
Well,
yet.
I think a big issue I have is I spend a lot of time planning and not enough time doing.
Oh, I overplan 5
sometimes.
calendars.
Yeah, I overplan everything, and am like resentful of that fact. Like, I don't want to be so type A, but it's just who I am. Like, there's this innate thing in me where I feel like if I don't do everything in my power to make something happen, it means that I like threw in the towel.
Yeah.
You know? But then there's other people who are like way more relaxed about things.
They
and
just seem
like
to go with the
it seems
flow.
to everything just comes to them. And I'm like, I will never be that person.
No.
It
I
will
wish
never
I
happen for
was.
me that way.
What's
you
most
know?
upsetting for me is that,
Mhm.
like, I'm not even good at being type A. Like, the amount of time I will spend on a system that doesn't work.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, the systems thing for you is hard. And
It's so,
yeah.
like, I should just invest in when people go, I've got a spreadsheet. And I go, you're charging? I'll make my own spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't.
I feel like I think my things work. Like, I think my systems work, but it's just because I'm, like, overdoing it. And it's the only thing I've ever done. So I'm afraid to try something new that might work better.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, but that's so, okay. As
Yeah.
someone who is currently struggling with
Mhm.
figuring out their audio, I've done my audio myself the whole
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
But I switched. I was overpaying for the Adobe Suite. This is too like
Mhm.
inside technology. But I was like, oh, Odyssey. I used to use it,
Okay.
or Audacity, excuse me, is a
Mhm.
free audio recording service. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I can cut my costs and go back to that.
Right.
But I didn't remember how to come back. And then
Mm-hmm.
the way I get paralyzed at the idea of changing a system,
Mm-hmm.
like I moved from one website server to PunchUp, and
Yeah.
it's like, this is supposed to be, and it is great. It's like you can have exclusive content behind a wall so that people have to
Mhm.
put their email in, so I can
Yeah.
get your fucking email address and tell you when I'm in your town.
Side note, we should talk about that later. I want to know more.
We will. Or that'll be the next segment.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Or do you mean off the?
Yeah. Well, we can talk about. I don't know if
Okay.
it's interesting.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you
it's
guys
not.
want to hear about Punch Up
Punch Up?
Live?
But punchup.live/JMS. Go there, sign up, get my exclusive videos. My special's gonna come out there, and
Woo.
for a comedy
Wait,
fan,
when does the special come out?
I don't know. I just
Okay,
finally
you're editing though.
Yeah,
You're in the
we
editing
finally sat
process.
down.
Yeah.
I sat down Noah Kopfer, who
Yeah,
you know Noah,
love.
we love him.
Love.
He's editing, and he came over yesterday, and we went through it together. So
Mhm.
that was supposed to originally happen like the first week of January.
Okay.
And then I pushed it twice because of the fires, because I wasn't in town.
Yeah.
And then the guy who's going to do the sound, because there's a different guy who's going to come in and fix the sound.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't get it to him before like February 15th,
Okay.
he's out of town for
For-
2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So-
but maybe you don't even need it that quick.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
The good news is the ball is rolling.
The good news is that you had a great set.
Yeah.
And you know it's going to turn out great. It's just taking the time to polish it up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's its own barrel of
Mhm.
anxiety, which nobody
Mhm.
needs to hear about.
Yeah, I
But
mean
the waiting and the
there is
watching yourself.
there is something about like a lot of comedy now is self-produced and stuff, and I don't think people understand the layer of stress that it is to constantly have to be pushing out content in all these different types of forms, like super short form, written form,
Semi-long.
email,
Yeah, it's like
yeah, long form, Instagram story, like here's a tour poster, you know, like it's
but you have to do a
it's-
carousel because the poster will get buried.
Right, exactly. So it's like it's stressful. It's stressful, but
It's
you're doing
stressful.
it and you're like, yeah, it's just eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just only see the, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to say finished product, because
Yeah.
you're goddamn crazy if you think I'm not putting up half-baked
Yeah,
basic
yeah,
scripts
yeah.
half the time. I'm like, put up this premise, see if
Yeah.
it gets any buzz, and then
Mhm.
I'll keep working on
I
it.
mean, I would love to get to that point. I feel like my favorite directors' comics like disappear for 2 years and then come back with a killer thing.
yeah.
And then just let their work speak for themselves, and that would be like I love that.
It
I
feels
think that's the
impossible
best way to
now.
work. It feels impossible
Unless
now.
you are already
Yeah. established and were before social media was.
Yeah, you had to have had
Yeah.
like a big audience, because at the end of the day, like,
yeah. I'm so mad TikTok's back. We
I
lost it
was,
for 24
we
hours.
had one day, and I was like, good.
I was pumped. I was like, finally, one thing I don't have to even
One thing I don't
worry
have to worry
about.
about.
And then
Let me tell you this. From what I've
Mhm.
heard
mhm.
on the translation of ticket sales, you don't really have to worry about TikTok.
I know I finally started making money on there though,
Oh.
which was a bummer.
Are
But
you
now I don't even want it
Just
because
on
they
like
pulled
Creators
that
Fund,
fucking
or are you doing like
yeah.
the selling stuff?
Creators Fund. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was pissed. Like now I'm like, now I don't even want the fucking app with that fucking stupid message they put about
God,
President
President Trump.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is all a publicity stunt
It's
for him.
so insane. It's so insane, and people are falling for
That's
it.
what it's like. I can't
Mhm.
stand it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate even more that there's a part of me that's like,
But he did a
He knew what
good
he was
job.
doing.
Yeah, he did a damn
The
good job.
man is fucking smart.
Yeah. No, dude, he's gonna claim that he did the ceasefire, that the TikTok thing was him. It's like he's
Yeah.
unfortunately, whoever is on his team is doing a good job.
I know. It's like, man, the if you have good just coverage,
Dude,
press.
Yeah.
But also, okay, wait, this went off and we didn't take a break.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break.
Mhm.
We'll come back and probably talk a little bit more about Trump, which
Yeah.
I don't love, but
Yeah,
he
but-
does. So we'll be right
It's
back.
Inauguration Day.
Oh my god, and it's MLK Day. That is so fucked up.
It's fucked up.
All right, we'll be right back. Guess who's back? It's us. Can you even believe it?
It's still us.
We haven't gone away.
It would be really funny if you just brought someone in here who had like you put a wig on them and then just
I
continued
literally
it like
did
it
that
was
once
me.
with. Oh, you were there when Dana.
Oh, Dana, yeah.
Came back as Diane, and I was
So
like,
good.
Dana had to go somewhere.
I miss Diane. I miss
Me too,
Diane a lot.
honestly.
Yeah.
I want to do a podcast with
Yeah.
just Diane. No offense. To
No,
Dana.
I literally think you guys should do a character podcast. Like
I've pitched that to
obsessed
her,
with the
and
idea
then she
of
just
that.
runs away with an idea about making a video about
Mhm,
Diane, and I'm like,
mhm.
I can't wrangle
That's
Diane.
so Dana. Dana is like like talking to her is like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Like I ran into her once at a Trader Joe's and I was just like, this is gonna be the next very fun 5 minutes of my life. And then I'm gonna feel tired after because I will feel like I ran a marathon talking to her. But yeah,
no, it's always an
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah, it's
With good old
she's-
Miss Moon.
Yeah, I admire that trait so much though of like she's such a character.
Yeah,
Do you know what
and
I
she
mean?
completely goes for it.
Yeah, those are my favorite kinds of people because I like even like, you know, like at the store, like you know who Joe Marisi is? Like
Yes.
everyone has a Joe impression and I'm like envious. I'm like nobody could ever impersonate me.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
But then I'm afraid if somebody did,
Yeah, I would
everyone
be
would laugh
hurt.
and I'd be
Yeah.
horrified.
Oh, I'd be so hurt.
But I think about that all the time with comedy that like
Yeah.
there's these people in the comedy world who are so specific.
Yes.
Like
and you kind of I think it's a good thing. I
Me
think it's a
too.
good thing.
I think
Yeah.
it's a great thing.
Yeah.
But I've had to like keep convincing
Mhm.
myself, and by keep convincing myself, I mean Nate keeps sending me clips of Bill
Mhm.
Burr saying things
Yeah.
about how he was like, I thought I needed a look.
Yeah.
And he's like, Bill Burr's fine. I'm like,
but
but
Bill
he's-
doesn't need a look because Bill has a thing.
He's
Bill,
like
Bill
bit-
is a gruff Bostonian
Yeah.
man.
he has a thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, do I not have a thing, or do I just not know what my thing is?
I think we're just girls next door.
we are. We're just
we're
girls
just
next
two girls
door.
next door.
We are crying.
We're a tub of bones.
We're-
Tub of bones. Yeah.
Welcome back to Tub of Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I go through things of like, should I
Yeah.
have a thing?
Oh yeah. Trust me. I think we've talked about this before. It's like the torment of getting dressed for a show sometimes. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then I'll end up wearing the same thing.
Outfit.
Every time. Every picture you see me in, it's one of 3 comedy outfits I have.
That's
It's
so funny.
Truly that. Yeah.
I go through like swings
Mhm.
where I oscillate between like, just be casual.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Be
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah.
You're
I would
normal.
wear this on a normal day.
And
you know?
then other times I'm like, it's a show.
Yeah. Put the blazer on.
Yeah, literally. And I'll be in sequins and like the loudest colors. And I'm usually dressed like a child. And sometimes I'm like, is that my thing?
No, you literally once wore a JoJo Siwa jacket.
And I loved it.
And literally the brand was JoJo Siwa.
Yeah, it was from Target. She had her own brand. It was from the children's section.
It was
I didn't even know who JoJo
crazy.
Siwa was
I know,
when I
that's
saw
what-
it.
Yeah, that's
I
what
just
was
saw the
so
jacket
crazy.
and I was like, I could fit in a child's extra large. But then I think, like,
And damn it, you did.
yeah, but it's like I believe I'm a strong comedian. I'm a good
Did
joke
you set
writer.
a timer?
I did not. You just
Okay.
can't wait to get
I'm
fucking out of
sorry.
here.
I'm so sorry. No, I
You're
just
just-
remembered.
I didn't start it. I
Okay,
did think
you did
this
put it
time to
on.
pause. and
Yeah,
just
sorry.
restart.
I totally just derailed the conversation because that's how my brain works.
This is over.
Yeah, it's over. This is it. This is how our friendship
No,
ends.
I appreciate you. I also had it been the other way, I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have been able to
Uh-huh.
stop myself. from
No,
going,
no,
the
I
timer.
wouldn't. Yeah, no.
Like it's
It reminds me of how much I'm turning into my mom. My mom does this thing a lot where she interrupts when we're talking or when someone's having a conversation, and she'll be like, "But if I don't say it, I'm gonna forget."
I do
And
that.
it's like, oh, I totally get her now. Like I'm turning into my mom for
I've
sure.
just been your mom the whole time.
Yeah.
In that way, I'm running Nate into the ground with my interruptions.
Yeah, I love that. And he
It's-
deserves it.
You guys heard the episode.
Yeah.
You be the judge.
Mhm.
Yeah, I But then I also wonder sometimes when I wear outfits like that,
Mm-hmm.
my mentality is like, it's fun, it's a
Yeah.
show, I'm loud, the outfit's loud.
You're making it a fun.
It's part of it.
Yeah. It's an occasion. It's an event.
But then
Yeah.
I wonder, does it come across as trying to overcompensate?
No. I don't. I
guess
mean,
it,
I
like-
think there's that initial thing that we all feel like. I still have never worn. Now I have worn a dress on stage, but it was for a gala, so that was kind of a different thing.
Hello. She
but-
does galas, folks.
Hello, book me.
Book her gala. She's a
I'm
gala gal.
I mean, whoever saw my comedy and was like, "Yeah, perfect." It was
You
great.
should be at a gala.
Yeah.
Put on these white gloves. You're going to be a star.
I mean, it is fun to host, but anyways, but I'll never wear a dress on stage because the whole time that I'll go up, I'll just be thinking they're thinking I'm this way because I'm wearing this and blah blah blah, and it's like I think I need to just get over that.
Yeah.
You know, Nikki Glaser hosted the entire Golden Globes in 1,000 different dresses.
Yeah,
they
and
still
her
thought she was funny.
special
Yeah.
was great, and she was in a teeny tiny dress.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are we doing?
I think it's also different though. I think I would feel less that way if I was more established, and then it's like, yeah, wear whatever the fuck you want. Like maybe when I'm at that level, I will also do that. But for now, it's like I don't need to go to West Side Comedy Theater in a dress.
In a
gown. Yeah.
Which and then it's also especially in town. Even I think the only time I really give it an extra thought is the main room.
Yeah,
because
it is a little more theatrical.
Because it feels theatrical.
Yeah.
I think there is here's the fucked up thing is I'm getting paid more, so I should care more. But at the end of the day, people are
know.
but also the people in the O are paying the same
it's
price.
expensive.
They're paying for the same level of show, and I'm going, this is the OR.
Yeah.
This is where I work out.
Yeah.
And I come
I
literally
get
from
that
a workout.
feeling though. Yeah. No, truly have done that.
Sweating, and I'm like, what are you guys?
I'm going to do that tonight for potluck.
It's it is what it is. But that is such a crazy thing about comedy that it's like, I think it does help people when they have something specific, but it can't be forced.
Yeah, I think it's like you kind of get lucky, or you have such a unique writing voice and style. I mean, everyone is unique in some way, but like it's something that you're kind of playing a character on stage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I never wanted to do like a character, because even Bill Burr is a character of himself.
Do you know
and
that's the thing is most comics, it's like they're doing a heightened version. Some people are straight up doing a character.
Right. But and a lot of it is now that it's like, and it's some of my favorite comedy. Like I love Chris Fleming, and maybe he is truly just like that in real life, but he also is it's a little bit of a character. Like, you know what I mean? Like he could, like, even John Early, he gets cast to play himself, but that's not really who he is.
It's like a
turned
up version
exactly.
of what they want you to see.
Right.
And that's the thing is,
I always wanted my comedy to be like, we're just chit-chatting with the girls. Like, everyone knows this girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want
purely
to feel,
me.
Yes, I want it to be me, and I want to feel like you're just, like, catching up with your best friend.
Yeah, it's actually to the point that, and I've said it on stage, everyone, like, a couple times in just riffing around, it's come out, but to the point that when someone goes, I love the character you do on stage, I get so upset. Because I'm like,
oh, the character.
Oh.
They've never lived with you.
Yeah. That's what's like, and here's the evidence. When I go, that's not a character, and you guys go, okay, that's part of the character.
Yeah, no, it's not truly actually you. It's truly you.
It's hell. But then it's
I would say more limbo, but purgatory.
Just sort of a purgatory. Yeah. We don't really know what's gonna happen. Someone might get bit.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I've gone through things lately where I'm like, oh, maybe, what if I just did the exact same jokes, but like 3 nights in a row and try different accents?
You're insane. You're truly insane.
I know. But you know what's
like,
crazy?
You understand that.
I know. And that doesn't make you any less insane going, I know I'm insane.
Yes.
That's crazier.
Yeah.
And you're still doing it? But we were editing the special, and I was in New Orleans for like 2 or 3 days before we filmed it.
I know you picked up that accent.
I didn't even realize it. And
I know you did.
We were watching it, and I was like, well, because I used to live down there. So I did have like a bit of an accent as a child.
Twang.
Yeah, a little twang. And then I'm watching it going, oh shit.
Yeah. No, I do that, and I've never lived down there. People used to ask me if I was Southern. Like I think our brains are the same type of sick.
Is that like a monkey brain of like, I'll mimic you and it makes me more...
I heard it's an empathy thing.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
But then I've also heard you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because
both can be true.
You could be a very empathetic psychopath.
Yeah. No, I actually love that. I love the little accent going.
Yeah, and it works. And because I made a couple references because I'm in Louisiana, so I just in little riffs there are.
Yeah. It's just gonna happen. That's the thing. I don't think that's a huge deal.
I don't think it's a huge deal either. But I'm like, if
it'd
this is
be
my
so
first
funny
like
if
big
it blows
special,
up, and then they're like this Southern sweetheart.
And then I'm like, I guess I ride it till the wheels fall
Yeah.
off.
You're like, I'll ride it till the end. You show up to the stage on a horse. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll tell you more when we get out of this podcast because but I was like, oh shit, it's there it is. There she blows.
Yeah.
Like just coming on out.
Yeah.
It's anyway, neither here nor there. I've derailed from what we were saying, but
I literally truly can't remember what we were talking about. Like
so
my brain
listen,
is so okay. Good.
You're an up and coming comedian.
Oh God.
The
The worst thing you could ever say to a person.
Los Angeles. She's on the rise, popping off, doing her thing.
Yeah. Are we?
Yeah. I mean, me trying to aggressively avoid there's fires.
Yeah.
And they're terrible.
But
I want to ask you, because you're a door girl at the store, guy, lady door guy. I don't know what you call him.
Just guy. Just one of the boys.
Just a man.
Yeah.
How are you liking that experience? I was never a door guy.
Yeah. I like it. It's been interesting. I feel like sometimes I think overall it's a good thing. Like I feel like people kind of know who you are, at least, in some capacity, which is stressful in its own way.
Tell me about it.
I don't think it's like career changing as
because I've always wondered even when I was at the level where I probably could have been a door guy, like weighing the pros and cons of the nights you lose to working versus the connections you make.
Yeah, I think overall it's been good though. Like I think it's really also been a great community for me, and I like, being there is helpful obviously, and I think it is still the best club in LA. The most fun for
it's
sure.
The best one.
And that's no knock to anyone else, but it's just
a great
such an institution.
Yeah, and it's the most comedian friendly.
Yeah, which is weird because it feels like, I know it's crazy intimidating there, and I understand why a lot of people don't hang out there because it is really it
is an institution. It's like you said, it's like this big thing that I think a lot of, especially comedians, young comedians, we put it on this pedestal of like the comedy store.
And I feel like it's so weird. Not weird. I feel bad saying this because it's like obviously easier for me to say this because I was picked to be a door guy, but like I think there's this weird worship of like becoming a door guy at the store, which I don't really understand. And it's like I feel like you kind of have to be realistic about it. Like I don't think you can worship the place, but I think you can have a healthy, relationship with it and stuff. But
it never ends well for the people who really worship it.
They
go the store, and I love the store. It's my home club.
Right.
It has a very special place in my heart. But you watch people go like, there's no place, like, and it's gonna break your heart if you do that.
It's kind of sad. A little pathetic.
It's a building.
It's a building, and it's a great building.
Yeah,
and I love the history of it and all that stuff, but I don't worship it. And I think like I would obviously love to be passed one day, but that's not like my ultimate comedy goal. And I feel like for a lot of people in LA, it is, and I think they do themselves a disservice by doing that.
And let me tell you, as someone who it was a major goal of mine, I was like, I want to be paid regular at the store, and I want to make enough money to live doing stand-up. Those are my only goals.
Same.
And I still and I've met those goals. And I'm like,
and it's still not it.
Well,
like there's other goals that you have now, right? Like your dreams get, they change over
I'm just
the
like,
years.
this didn't do what I thought it would do.
Right,
too. It's like the classic, like that didn't make me super happy. Not even that. It's just like, I love the store. I'm so grateful for Adam for passing me, Emily for treating me great and giving me spots, and I know that I am in a very special place and lucky to have that. If anyone's listening thinking like, it's gonna change my life, it's not.
It's not
gonna change. Like
it'll help. It
helps.
certainly helps, but it doesn't do what
it's
I
not a
think
be all end all. But not to say nothing does.
Well, I think people have that perception from like the early days of like you would do potluck and then you'd get a set on late night. It's like it is not, comedy doesn't work like that anymore.
No,
it just
and also
doesn't.
getting a set on late night does almost nothing.
Yeah.
It does less than doing some podcasts.
Yeah.
A lot of like any of the big podcasts will move the needle more than you. It's cool. It's like cool to your peers to do the Tonight Show.
It's still a badge of honor. That's
sure.
That's kind of how I view getting past at the store, to be honest.
It's like a stamp of approval.
I would love if that happened, and I'm
course.
working really hard to hope that happens. But I know that like if I want comedy to be my career, that's not.
You can't rest whether or not you feel like you've made it on any of
on
these.
one club,
on a club, on a festival, on like this network, putting your set on.
Yeah, I mean, all the best comics at the store are doing other things, and they're on the road, and like, do you know what I mean? So it's like you can't just perform there.
No.
Yeah.
Unless, I guess that's your goal, but at that point you're almost a hobbyist. There are a couple people who are so funny and so entrenched at the store. And just also lucky enough to be the style that the booker loves, that's a fact, that they're making a living.
Or that they fill a certain type of comedy that's unique.
Yeah, that nobody else does.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, the store isn't even big enough that like, I mean, it's big enough, but they're not, okay, this is just going to be me being fucking, they don't spotlight everyone doing the store in a way that you just being there all the time would boost you to that level.
Yeah, sure.
Like, because they're trying to sell tickets. It's like the only people you know who are going to be there are the people who you already know.
Yeah, exactly. Like the big names are draws in other places. They could go do the same show on their own.
And I think about that all the time. And like the spots that I get, I'll go up a lot of times, like late night in the main room, which I love. It's a big stage, which I like. I'm high energy. I like a big stage. It's very well paid for a spot in LA.
Yeah, for a showcase style show. Yeah.
But I know deep in my bones, it has just resonated and been proven to me through the years that even when I'm doing well in there, I can crush in front of the crowd that's there. Most of them are blacked out. And at best, and I was saying this to Nate like the other day, at best, what I am to them is, oh my God, we saw Bobby Lee. And that girl was funny too.
It's always Bobby Lee.
I mean, they love him.
But
it's like, first of all, people are coming to LA with the mentality of like, I want to see a star. And then they did.
Yeah.
And then if you were on a show with them, the odds of you being so funny and that person being so into comedy that they go, I got to find out who that is.
Right.
And then they remember
slim.
to do it.
Yeah.
It's like 0.1%. It's like all you're doing is planting a seed.
Yeah.
At best, later when you do blow up, they go, I saw her before.
Yeah.
That she was the girl at the thing. Which is fine. I love having that opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say, like, it's not.
It's like, yeah, you got to do other stuff.
You have to keep doing things.
The momentum needs to be somewhere else.
Yeah. And really, the store is just like our example because that's where we're at.
But yeah, exactly.
But
I mean, I would love to be passed at the Improv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm past there too. I'm on their
but it's like
C team. But
yeah, they have like their own passing system that's completely different. I'll do every single satellite improv and then can't book Hollywood Improv to save my
Which
life.
is so funny because there's people I like who have
Who
the
are the
opposite.
opposite.
I'm passed at the Hollywood Improv and they're like, well, we're not booking you in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's
like,
so
okay.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, I you know, every system has their own kind of
thing.
thing, you know.
But it's really all
that's
to
my
say,
point to say is that like you can't focus on one club because then you're just focusing on one type of passing system.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do that at another club again, which like you can do that. And it will help you obviously to get into as many clubs as possible.
Sure.
But you also have to just like be undeniable and be good and be able to, if I can sell my own shows, you will never see me again. Like if I can sell out theaters
when I'm
on my
selling
own,
out theaters.
Yeah.
It's
that's
over.
Yeah.
And that's my
like I'll do one show in 8 cities like and make my year's money.
I mean that's the fucking dream.
No. I mean yes. But
it's like all of this to say that it's just important to remember that no one thing is going to be the thing.
Right.
Like it's just an industry where I mean the unfortunate reality is very rarely is anything going to launch you so big that you're like, I'm set now.
Right. Yeah.
I can continue to tour at the scale I want to tour at
Yeah.
for as long as I want to tour. It's going to be, there's ebbs and flows. You're constantly growing your audience.
And I think we also forget that stand-up was never really lucrative for a lot of people. Like, it was lucrative, but most people did stand-up so they could become movie stars. Do you know what I mean? Like, their income was not dependent on just touring.
No.
And yeah, so I think that a lot of people forget that, and we were kind of in this golden age of stand-up touring and releasing one special a year and all this bullshit. And it's like, I think that it's just, we're going to see another shift again soon. And I don't know what it'll be, but I'm terrified.
I think the bubble's going to burst. Mm-hmm. But in that, I think people will still probably continue to put out content at whatever pace. Yeah. And this is maybe me deluding myself, because there is a lot of hot garbage that is blown up beyond any comprehension I have.
Yeah.
And that's not to say everyone blowing up is garbage, but there are some people that it's like, what are we doing?
If I see one more fucking TikTok star just like who decides they want to do stand up because they did POV facing videos,
and and then they're eating shit, and everyone who comes to that show, that's their first stand up show, and they go, stand up sucks. I'm going back to TikTok. That's what I fucking hate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to believe that if the bubble bursts, it will be a situation where somehow the cream rises to the top, where like only the strong survive.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true, or if it's just going to be...
If it'll be more the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Or worse. That it's like...
Yeah.
Anyway. We're going to take... This is the end of the episode for everyone watching on YouTube, but do you have a little extra time?
Yeah.
We take one more break. And if you want to see the bonus, you got to head over to punchup.live/JMS.
We're showing our tits.
Woo! Maybe. Well, there you go, idiots. That concludes this week's episode of Ignorance is Blessed. If you want to hear any bonus portions of any episode, head over to punchup.live/JMS to hear and or watch those. If you have questions, comments, concerns on anything myself or a guest said, you can voice them over in the Facebook group. It's called Idiots. Find it at facebook.com/JMS Comedy. It's linked right there on my page. You can also suggest guests, interact with other fans of the show. It's a good time. Come on by. Also, if you haven't yet, please, please, please leave a rating and a review for the podcast. It helps me out big time. And if you like this guest, make sure you go follow them on all their social media. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being patient with my ignorance. See you soon, idiots.